Bam. We are live. First episode. We've actually talked about this for a good month, right? Like a month and a half.
Yeah.
And we're just two 40-year-olds that enjoy this. We enjoy collecting, we enjoy looking at our cards, we enjoy hunting, we enjoy receiving them in the mail, we enjoy bidding on these things. This is something that has changed, I would say, like both of our lives. It gave us a whole nother, I guess, view of life in like a way that we could have something that could really like feed our souls, really. So this is the beginning, the genesis, as I called it. My name is Champ Vanderford, and we have
Matt Donovan.
yes, and we are here to provide you guys with fully unedited crackhead talk, as I say. So first, man, we're just gonna talk about real quick kickoff, right? What the
Like,
is the
what are we doing?
right? And why? Why do we merge our addictions and our collections? I'm gonna let you start with that one.
I would say on Instagram, very quickly, we sort of found each other and it became clear that we had very similar taste. And I think just by the players we were focused on, and we found this out later, but we're like the same age. We have nostalgia for the same stuff. And we found our niche in this pre-modern era, which is before the ultra modern, and we don't go so far back as the vintage. And I think we were talking before, sometimes it gets lost in the shuffle a little bit, the 80s and 90s, but that's when we were kids. That's what we have passion for. And I love the era. I think there's so many cool things to explore, and I've just become obsessed with it. And I know you're a little bit broader than me, and like I've dipped my toes a little bit further back, but like I don't know, just like the 80s and 90s is like that's my jam. I just love it.
Nah, I'm the same way, man. I jumped in, and me and you, it's like we're basically in like the same like what's called channels, and we were able to immediately see like you just said that we both chase the same things, the same players, even if it's not the same players, it's the same era, the same type of players. And we slowly, I mean, you just always, I've always said it. If there's anyone that's like me in this thing, it's you.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel the same way about you.
like we've seen it, man. We've actually seen it with our cards and stuff. So I thought it was cool. Like we aren't no best of friends yet, right? But we linked up because of this, because we both have the same likes, same age, both American. Um, and we're both proud of all of this stuff that we've bought and we've hunted. Like this is our thing, this is our passion, right? And that's why I just felt if we was gonna do this, and I completely feel the same way as you, that pre-modern gets lost in the shuffle. It's always there, but it's always kind of in the backdrop, right? It's always pre-war, vintage, and then now this ultra modern has really gone to like another like level that I'm seeing. And there's us, right? That 80s, 90s era of those players that really touched our soul, our brains, our hearts. And it's players that, I mean, epic, like legends, like players that people will never forget. I mean, every player that me and you are gonna sit there and go through are like legendary like athletes. Like it doesn't even matter the sport. They're just known as gods across the world.
They are.
Um,
And I think from like a content perspective too, like I feel like so much of the content in the hobby in the soccer market is around like prospecting, new product releases, and that's cool. It's just not what we do.
yeah,
And then the vintage Discord, we're both members, we're active. Al and Bill have created something amazing there. Everybody should check that out. But a lot of that conversation and focus is like pre-war. And I think there's a gap. There are some content creators that hit this so well though, like USMNT Soccer Cards with his Fanatics Collect, like weekly reviews. Like he's deep on pre-modern. We got to give a hat tip to the GOAT Soccer Study, who's taking a hiatus right now, but like taught us both almost everything we know about pre-modern sets and cards and collecting. Like we wouldn't be here without Soccer Study. But I just think it's such a fascinating like transitionary era of the soccer market where you're starting to get modern sets. It's guys that you can go back and see on YouTube, you remember, but you know, it's not quite the 4,000 parallels and prospecting and kind of flipping games. So
Freaking pack of Skittles, man, with all them rainbows, man. I actually tried a couple of times and I just went crazy. I was like, yo, man, this is a whole nother level of collecting when you start. You want pink parallel and pink prism and pink dots. And it's like, you know what I mean? And it's definitely, it's cool. Like I dabble in it with Colombia with my little, you know what I'm saying? I'm always hunting certain players, but my bread and butter, our bread and butter is 1980s, 1990s.
yep.
You know what I mean? Those are our goats, our everything, really, man. And just like you said, man, shout out to Bill, shout out to Al, shout out to Andre. I know for me, I wouldn't be anywhere I am as far as in this hobby without their knowledge, their experience, and their content. Um, they've really like just made a lane for someone like me to come in and be able to learn at a higher clip than if I would have been trying to find all this info. I remember early on with what's called like Andre's videos, every time it would drop, it was like I wanted to know more about the sets, more about the players. And once I learned like how to approach it because of them, I feel like I became such a good collector early on because I felt I was getting good knowledge from people that knew what they were doing early on. Like, man, when you look at Al's collection, he collects everything. Like he even gets modern, what's called like Pokemon cards, right? So it's like you learn about all of these different channels and sets and cards and players. I've learned about players from Al's page that I would have never heard of, right? And so we definitely got to give them a shout out. I know like we both said we wouldn't be here without those guys. Shout out to the Vintage Soccer Discord, all those bums. I love them all. Like 98% of them, they're amazing. I've learned. I continuously every day I feel like I learned something, even if it's pre-war, vintage, anything. There's so many good collectors from Spain, from Poland, from you know what I mean, Brazil, people from Argentina, and it's like you just learn. There's always new releases coming out that everyone thought that was it. And then, oh no, this dude comes in, he just joined the Discord and he's showing some album that only came out and blah, blah, blah. And it's like knowledge, right? Like, and we just soak it all up. So big shout out to them. And that's why we're here, man. We're here to kind of spread that love that was given to us early on. And we're here to have fun, man. We're not going to scare anybody off. If we scare you off, I apologize now in advance. And if we don't scare you off, buckle up. It's gonna get spooky. It's gonna get spooky a little bit, right? Um, so first we have to start with the disclaimer. We have a couple of them. We don't want to confuse people and think that our advice is golden because it's not. Don't do what we do, right? It's kind of creepy. But here we go. The first one is bam, disclaimer. We buy goats and we take care of our families. That's the approach we have, man. We do our thing so we could do our thing. And that just makes sense, right? Like we both have jobs, we both have families, and we got this addiction that we got to fight and scratch our necks, and it's the greatest thing ever, right? And the second disclaimer, now this one's a little more thorough and a little more real, right? Bam. The second disclaimer, just read Al's disclaimers. Whatever he writes, just that's what we say. So no financial advice. Like I said, if you want to be a full-blown crackhead, then follow our advice. But if not, don't do it, right? Cards are supposed to be fun. That's what it is. We're not gamblers. We're not trying to make flips. We're not trying to No, we literally buy to admire. That's probably the best way to put it. I would say, right? So we're gonna start off. And let me actually go straight to this one. Damn, damn.
I feel like I have the same story as so many like guys in the Discord, so many guys that ended up in this market, which is so fun and so positive. I collected cards as a kid, like a lot of basketball, football, baseball, and then didn't do it for like 20 years, 25 years. And then during COVID, started hearing that kind of cards were coming back, was bored, was looking for like some connection, online, something to take up my time. And it seemed like soccer was like an interesting, like, I want to say investment opportunity, but it was like less explored than the other markets where it's like, I don't know, like, I don't know if I'm buying a Luca, it seems like that had already been kind of played out. So I was like, oh, let me check out this soccer thing. This might be interesting to kind of learn about. And I did what everybody did. I started by like, I was buying the Jadon Sancho rated rookie base, like just like so average and generic and just kind of jumping in. And then slowly I started going back and saying, oh, there's like stickers from the 90s. There's like cards from the 90s. There's World Cup sets. And I became hooked immediately. I was just blown away by like the diversity, by like country, club, league. It's so like rich. It's so much more interesting and dynamic to me than some of the American sports, which is sort of like the same manufacturing churning out like, slightly different like product sets for the same sport every year. And I just completely fell in love with it. I'm a nerd. I like researching. I still like cards. It's just it like scratches so many itches for me that I don't know. I dove in and then started to connect with people on Instagram and the Discords and just haven't looked back.
Yeah, no, man. I love how you like said that. That was just what it was. We started to scratch all these itches by just going deeper down the rabbit hole, right? Like once you first get in, and then after a couple of days, you're just lost in the shuffle of research, and it's like you can't get enough, right? Like once you start on one player, then you go down and then you start seeing all these releases, and then you just keep like beautiful cards and stickers and sets. And for me, that's the same thing with my story, right? I have it a little bit in Spanish, right? We got to do the whole Spanglish thing, right? Quien es the champ? Are all the rumors true? The booze, the drugs, the chicks, the memory loss, which occurred in Colombia on one of my many trips, and the Bad Bunny infatuation. So my story, similar to you as far as COVID goes, right? For me, early on, I collected, I want to say, that Ken Griffey top set where him and Frank Thomas was in it. That was when I
Yeah.
kind of, right, that set was popular, right? And I
Yeah.
remember my brother, man, rest in peace, Hector. He was like buying boxes, and I would sit there and help him open packs, trying to find Griffey rookies. And then we had an actual what's called like comic book store that was right by our house. So we had a comic book store and a sports card store within walking distance. That's the 80s for you, right? And we would go get comic books, Spider-Man, X-Men, Superman, like everything, and then cards. I remember going and buying baseball cards and then soccer cards. When there was a set, I want to say it was the 93 or the 94, Columbia was in it. And I remember seeing
El Pibe had his
right the PBA. I remember, man, my dad and my brother were just the biggest Columbia fans. So me as like the little brother, it's like I had to like them. And I remember just starting to get into cards. But in our era, it was different because like there wasn't really, I don't know if I'm correct on this, but in 91, I don't remember there being like PSA slabs and stuff. Like it wasn't, if there was, I don't know, but at our store, it was just cards. Like you would see cards in the display. And so our shop where we used to go to was like a baseball heavy shop. Like the old dudes would be in there. Now I wish I could go back and like see like everything that them dudes used to have, but they used to have like nights, like trade nights, and it'd be all old dudes, wearing, you know what I'm saying, what's called like khaki shorts and fucking polo shirts and stuff. And I'd be like, yo, these dudes are really into it. So I was excited about that. And so I was into it. I want to say for a couple years, man, I was buying packs, and then I was into basketball, and soccer was always cool because of the World Cup. Because for us over here, well, for me, the World Cup was our everything. Like FIFA, playing FIFA, and then like the World Cup. That like we weren't getting access to like Liga games and you know what I'm
No.
saying, like all of that. I didn't. So World Cup was everything for us. And we actually spoke about this. For me, it was Baggio and Romario. Like those two were, I want to say, the first stars that I kind of like, you know what I'm saying, like followed and really got like into. And of course, Diego. And that was it for me. Like I always liked basketball and soccer. So flash forward, COVID, I'm at my mom's old house. I find some boxes that I hadn't seen in years, and I'm pulling up all of these like what's called like Tops cards. Some of them I had stacks of the gum still. I had all the soccer cards still. And then I go on eBay, I start to look stuff up, and it was like, yo, like this is for real still? Because as a kid, you're just thinking it's nothing. And then I kind of saw that it was a real thing. And then it was just, and something ignited in me, right? Like I dove in and I went hardcore. And I'm so glad that I dove in when I did and with who I did, right? Because like we could have easily gone the sports card investor way and like you said, Luca and Zion and all this stuff. And I went Bibe and like R9 and I started researching. And it's funny because it made me want to learn more about these guys. Like, because at that time we didn't know that much. And that's probably some of that touch of why all these guys were gods to us, because we didn't know as much as today. You're following all these players on Instagram, you know what they had for lunch. We didn't know what these dudes was doing in the off season type of deal.
Yeah.
So it gave them this type of like aura. And once I started to kind of go into it, man, I just fell in love. I'm glad I found Al's video first, and I saw one of his videos, and immediately I knew that I found something special. Like while watching his videos, and I hate to say this, but it's like I was like, I want to be that guy. Like his knowledge, his passion, his love that he displayed, it made me feel like like I'm not a geek. Like I'm actually a cool dude too. And it started this journey for me. And luckily I found soccer study, and I'm a big fan of his. I always wish him well. He taught me so much about all these sets and players. It's like I knew about the players, but to know about the releases over there, I didn't know nothing. I didn't know Merlin. I didn't know like nothing. And I was able to get all this like knowledge, man. And every week it was every video, then the Discord, Al's page. And then, like you said, we start to follow other collectors from other parts of the globe. And my knowledge just expand like a sponge, just increased in size, and it just wanted more and more and more. And that's where we're at now, man. Like in trouble, just like knee deep in this. We can't get out. It's like quicksand. But that's how we both started, and that's cool that we are from the same era. I love that. When we first spoke, and immediately our age, we was like, yo, so this is why we like the same players, and this is why we like the same style
I
of
was
stuff.
like, that makes so much sense.
Yes, right. So yeah, man. Next up, here we go. Let's go ahead and start it off simple. It's the latest eBay fanatics or the bootleg Asian website pickups.
I've had I had a weird thing where like I go like hot and cold a little bit with the hobby. Like I've been all in for the past like 4 years, but like for a few months I might be like slower on the buying, and then I'll get like hardcore back into it, and I'm like
Yeah,
ravenous and I'm like searching everywhere. I think like when the weather got cold, I like jumped way back in, like just before the holidays last year. And right around New Year's, I caught wind that there was a card on Card Hobby that I had actually never seen before and I had heard about. And it is the R9 2002 World Cup
man.
autograph card. This is a super, I mean, I've never had as much conviction around a card as I did around that one. I just was like, I had to have it. I had to figure out a way to get it. It's out of 100. It's an early numbered card. It's obviously from the World Cup that he won.
Yeah.
And it's got this, like we were joking before, like it's got this like weird like cut auto in like the window. And like I told you, I'm not even like an auto guy. Like this is the only auto I have in my collection. And it's kind of like janky in that window because like they hadn't figured out like the smooth, like flawless. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like you can see them trying to figure it out. And like I like that about it. I like that it's like a weird early version of the thing that was going to take over the hobby. So like I'm just completely obsessed with it. It's my favorite card in my collection, maybe outside of my Zidane rookie. It was kind of those two neck and neck, but
yeah.
I'm obsessed with it. So that's my big pickup of the last
that right there, Matt. That is the R9 auto card to have. I don't think there's ever going to be anything close to that. I've even when I first heard about it, I knew it then. I was like, this came in packs? Like, what? World Cup? What? Like, it changed because when we first started out, we didn't know. And as you learn about this, I mean, can you imagine being a kid and or actually probably be like 20, but imagine pulling that and ripping a pack and pulling that, like going crazy. But that to me is grail. That as far as like for his cards and stickers, that is number one. I mean, and I've said it before, that is just the grail of grails, man. So
it's got so many weird things about it. Like it's a Japan only release because like that's where the World Cup was going on, Japan, Korea. Like it's just a very unique like global card. And I'm just like obsessed with it. So
no, Matt, I don't think we are gonna see a lot of those out there. I think a lot of people have those, and those are never gonna see the light of day. I mean, I've maybe seen 2 of them in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And I don't see one coming up for another 2, 3, 4 years. Like I just don't see it. So congrats, dude. That is.
Thank you, man. And it's like it's part of the like
that's the top shelf, man.
I think I learned about the existence of that mini set. It's like 12 players signed, like, and it's like you find little things like that in pre-modern where you're like, wait, what? What's going on there? I just thought that was like a World Cup release. They got like a little insert set, like numbered. So it's just like you little jewels like that. I don't know. That's part of the reason I love the
that's telling you that is top of the top, man. That's a banger. That's a banger, as they say right there, man. Congrats on that one, man. That's a keeper. Those are the ones that you die with, that you tell your kids to put in the fucking coffin with you, right?
I'm fired up about it. What about you?
So for me, well, I kind of like showed it to you, so it's kind of weird. I might as well just show it now, just because it's such a Houston thing for me, right? But I got this in, I want to say 2 days ago. So it's not the last card I bought, but it's the last card that I bought that arrived, right? So, and that is the
beautiful,
the Lodge one. It's not his true rookie, quote unquote, but it's definitely one of his, even though it's like a 30-year card or whatever, but it's considered a rookie. So I've never had one. I've always wanted one. And just to be able to get a nicely centered copy, it looks like it's packed fresh. I was looking at it really good, and it's just beautiful, man. It's centered perfectly, man. And I love that. I love it. I love it. So I'm glad I got this. As like a Rocket fan, this is
that's huge, man. Congrats.
Yeah, man. So I'm excited about this one. And soccer wise, I'm trying to think, man, I'm like looking at all these stacks. The last one, it's gonna be funny, but the last sticker that I received, that I got, that soccer, right? It's this one. Bam.
Oh, look at that.
Second year.
That is a beauty. I actually really like second year stuff. I feel like that was a thing growing up, and like I don't know, it doesn't seem to be that much of a thing anymore. But like
I love second year,
dude. That's so nice.
And he's a legend, man. He's to me, and I know I'll probably get flack for this with the experts, but I think pre-modern starts with him, like 1978. And I
Yeah.
know there's people that say it's 81 or 80, but for me, it's this guy, this one right here, man. And this dude was such a great defender. I think he's the reason why Paulo is the best defender of all time, in my opinion. I think has a big amount to do with him, man. And so this is probably the last card I got that arrived, right? And I'm always getting, as far as like just the recent stuff lately, since July, I've been on Columbia Modern, which is kind of creepy. Because I've just been, I enjoyed the whole summer was like a roller coaster ride for me. Watching them play live, the restaurant where I work at, right? Our family owns a restaurant. It was packed for like 3 weeks straight. I got to meet El Pibe, get some stickers signed from him. So that set, when it came out, it meant a lot to me, and I wanted to hunt it down. And it's a hunt that I'm still going after, actually. So even though that's super modern, but it's really the Columbia. Like it's I'm a sucker for Columbia and R9. Like those are probably my like two top ones that I hunt down. And so that's probably like the last stuff I got. But that right there, man, beauty. Yours is a beauty. So as people could see, we always stay in that era, man.
You know what's
Always,
funny about
always.
the Brace is that it's like the rookie almost becomes like so iconic that you know what it looks like. Like I can see the Brace rookie, but the second year you don't see it as much. And
Yeah.
like that's a beautiful design. It's an
Yes.
awesome card. Like I love that.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, man. Second year, I'm a freak. I'm a freak with second year stuff, man. I think every player that I hunt, I like once I grab, like, you know what I'm saying, like that, like first year, I jump on second year
All
immediately.
the
Like
same way.
that's my favorite hunt, I think, is the second year stuff, because it's just like we've talked about. You start to hunt, you start to go down these rabbit holes, and then 3 days later, you're like full throttle, just covered in all this information. Just keep going for more, keep going for more. So
I
I
love
I, I I must say we have some great what's called like pickups. Um, Next up, which is kind of funny, right? Losses. Has there been, in recently, a loss that you was kind of maybe on something and you thought that you were gonna get it, and for whatever reason you just couldn't get it, lost
it.
out?
The one that sticks out, I think we both hunt the formerly PWCC, the Fanatics collect weekly. I feel like that's like the pre-modern go-to.
Yeah.
And I've got Henri's foot rookie.
Ooh.
And I always wanted to pair it with the Russian version of
Yeah.
the Equipus Europa. And those do not come out that often.
Never.
And our buddy Nils put his up, and I was like, oh man, that's a nice copy. I want to say it was a 6.
Yeah. It's sick.
And it was a 6. I went after it. I didn't go crazy, but I think I was second best, maybe third best. That's a great card that's going to be rare for the foreseeable future. And whoever got it, congratulations. But that one stings a little bit. There's part of me that wishes I went a little bit harder there.
Yeah, no, that was a beauty. I hate that it was mislabeled.
I know.
Like they well, good and bad, right? It wasn't. But that's those are some that when they first come out, people are like, oh no, it's not that rare. But now we've seen that it is. You know what I mean? Like it is. And
It
so
stood the test of time. Like the past
yeah,
couple of years, I mean, we've seen like 2 or 3.
and that's his rarest rookie, I think, by
Yeah,
far. I mean, it's
it
it's
is.
it's he has 3 rookie. Well, if you want to count the, like team shot, right?
Right.
Out of those 4, that's the rarest one. So and it's a beauty too, man. His hair is all out of it, man. And that dude was lit, man. Oh man, he's definitely gonna make a show in like the
He
next
is.
couple months for sure. And man, and now we're gonna go to our main dinner plate, I guess you could say. This was a player that we both kind of, when we said, who's that first player, there really couldn't be a better first player to kind of kick things off with, as far as a player that has such an impact globally on the game, on culture, on being you know what I'm saying, like a dude that went viral before we knew what going viral was, right? And he was definitely a guy that I would say helped grow the game. Not a lot of players could say that. He definitely made people fans if they didn't know about the sport or if they weren't really watching the sport. He's somebody that just transcended it. His aura, his flair, his just so many things, right? Like he just brought everything to like the table. He won at the like highest, you know what I'm saying, like places. Um his prime, we spoke about, we felt is probably unmatched. I mean, he had such a run for 3 or 4 years that was just impeccable almost, right? And that is bam,
The great.
right? And man, I'm just a big fan of his. He's just like, if I was to create a soccer player, he would definitely be one of the like, you know what I'm saying? Like his whole thing would have to be on my player. Like he just amazing, man. He could control a crowd. I saw it firsthand here in Houston, man. He came in, I want to say it was '07, '07, '06, '07, man. I like forget the exact year, but he came here, and man, to see someone perform and to see people giving him like a round of applause afterwards, see him control the actual game. So it was a game between Barca and Club America. And the first half, it was 4-1. Club America comes out playing like the freaking dream team in '92. Like, I've never seen a team dominate Barca in this manner, right? The crowd
Wow.
was going crazy. The crowd was like 90% Mexican, right? The Mexicans were just hammered by, like, the game didn't even start. Mexicans was already chanting and drunk, but it was such a great vibe. You know what I mean? It was such a love vibe. And second half comes in, they bring in a fellow named Messi, and him and Ronaldinho just, I mean, to this day, I've never seen something like that, as far as energy, as far as flow, as far as how they dominated the second half.
And
They
Messi
came
really looked up to him. Like he was like big brother, kind of like
big
idol.
brother,
Like
yeah. And I'm telling you, like, to see them both at that stage, I feel now I was truly blessed, because I mean, how many people could say that they saw Barca with Messi and Ronaldinho, right? Like,
that's
I
crazy.
saw that, man, and to see the grasp he had on the crowd, and man, I'm telling you, it's like at that point I already loved him, but to see it live, then you realize how big soccer is. Like, here, we have our sports and we love our sports, but soccer is just upper echelon to me. It's like a whole nother plateau of sporting. Like, and just to see it live, it changed me, man. Just to see the man, it was like a dude on top of the world at that point, and he really was at that point. I believe he had just won a Player of like the Year, like
The
that summer,
FIFA, yeah.
right? So he
Yeah.
was on it. He was on it, and man, I'm gonna start off showing a couple of the ones I have of his.
Let's do it.
First, let me see if this is gonna work. If not, it's all right. We'll try again.
And we were talking before, like his peak was like shorter maybe than some of the other
Yeah.
all-time greats, but his like 4 to 5 years was some of the most insane, like creativity, magic with the ball, doing stuff we've never seen before. I would say like one of the great YouTube highlight guys of all time. Like you will just be absolutely blown
Yes.
away by what's on
To
YouTube.
this day. To this day. Oh man.
Oh, there's the rookie.
Gotta start with the rookie. Let's see if it's gonna
That is
lock.
beautiful and nice centering on that one too.
Yeah, this is a nice copy, man. Man, it's not showing how I wanted to show. There it goes, a little better.
That
A
looks
little
nice for a
blurry, right?
4.
It has surface damage, which after years I couldn't even see it. That's what it is. It has like a little speck. of
You know,
like
I actually thought it was a 6 looking at it.
it should be. It should be
Yeah.
like a 12, but I'm mad it's blurry though, man. See, this is the stuff about this.
We'll upgrade our tech and
There we
there you go. That looks good.
There we go. That's nice. There we go. So
That's a
that's that
beautiful
one.
copy.
And then this one combines with, whoa, come back, come this way. It's doing that whole lock on thing. All right. And this one right here, man. I love this one, man. He just looked so pure, man. You know what I mean? He was on it even then.
And we were saying like he's funny because you know him, like his prime, he had the long hair. So like the stuff pre-long hair, he looks so young, you know, like it adds a little extra pop.
Another level, right? No, and you see it grow as like his skills got better, right?
Oh, the Pepsi. I love those Pepsi ones.
These are just such a cool, like, I don't know, man. These are just fly to me, man.
Dude, that's another thing about soccer is like the oddball stuff is like everywhere. Like it's not just like Panini. Like we love some Panini, but it's like you get it's like Panini Pepsi and like you get some weird stuff.
Nah, this is the only time we're gonna see a shirtless man on our podcast. Just want to like get that out the way now.
I love that one.
And it's funny because he actually has like the Pepsi in his hand too, man.
It's hilarious. I'll start with some. So I don't have a rookie. That's on my list.
Yes.
We both have fallen in love with his PSG stuff. So the pre-Barca PSG stuff, I like it for a few reasons. One, you get some of the European releases. So you're getting like Panini Foot and stuff like that. In fact, I'll start off with the Panini Foot. This is beautiful. Panini Foot might be like, honestly, like Panini Foot might be my favorite like brand in pre-modern. I'm a Zidane guy, so I'm probably biased. But like from the Henrys to the like, I just love it as a brand.
From 80s to 90s, they kill it, man. They have the best
borders, like all the amazing colors, and like I love the old school headshots. Like I don't know, maybe I'm an old man and I like that, but like it was like simple. It was clean. And the other thing about the PSG stuff, like the French stuff seems more rare than like Spanish stuff and Italian stuff of that era. Wow. And maybe it's because like League One wasn't as popular, or maybe like the French collecting culture wasn't quite as strong as some of those other countries. Like Andre at Soccer Study would always say, like, the French stuff just seems harder to find than some of the other stuff. And the fact that he was at PSG, I think, made some of this a little bit harder to track down than some other stuff of the era. This is the Wizards of the Coast, kind of like a hybrid TCG soccer
of those
PSA 9. I love that one. There's a foil one that we talked about before that I don't have and I want. And then I know, I'll share one more, and I got to shout out Mr. Matt Hendler of PSA. I found out about this one from him. This is a Panini PSG release. This was distributed, and I learned all of this from Matt. I had no idea what I was looking at.
That's the goat, man.
He's another, like, sidebar on Matt. He did the 7 wonders of pre-modern collecting. Like, he's done so much for the era and bringing soccer to like the country
in general. I feel
he's absolutely the man and like the best guy. That was distributed by a fast food joint in Europe called Quick. So again, like kind of an oddball, but like you just don't see these. And I love like the short hair PSG action shot.
Everything, man.
I'm just like that one will not leave my collection ever.
That's the thing of beauty right there, man. No, Matt is amazing, man. He's someone that, dude, he was in Brazil, like collecting, like living the life, man. Like that's I like. That is the coolest thing that you're able to go there and really hunt, and he's Indiana Jones to me. Like he's one of them dudes where he's so into it, and his knowledge on it, dude. You could ask him anything about any release. He just knows so much, man. So
he's been on the PSA podcast a bunch of times, like advocating for the soccer market, which is amazing. he's got his own Discord where he like tracks down like cool items, that, and he's not doing it for any other reason than to kind of like build a community and share.
Love it. Yeah, man. Nah, he's that dude.
He
He's
is.
that dude. He's that dude. I love me some Matt.
Me too.
And man, speaking of the Wizards of the Coast, this one, it's funny. I bought it not necessarily knowing if it was even real because I had never seen it. I couldn't find any information on it.
Oh, this one.
But you know what I mean? At that point, it was like I was just a orca. I was just trying to feast, right? Like, and when I saw this, I knew immediately, like, wait a second, this doesn't look like the other one. So in my mind, I thought it was just one more in the set that came with the packs, but it turns out it's actually a promo card of that set. So it's a lot more rare than like the foil one and all that. And I still haven't seen it to this day. I've heard there's one other guy I think that has one, and it's not even on his page.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that rare, right? And it's this one right here. Let me bring it back. Bam.
I'm so jealous of this one. Like that is absolutely stunning.
It's got the gold like lettering and the outline. Like this card, man, this is such a cool set, man. Like
I love the set. That's a grail. As far as I'm concerned, that's a grail.
Right? Man, this is top notch, man.
Have you seen another one?
I've never seen it with my own eyes. No.
Yeah.
Just the time I bought it, that was it. And I went crazy. I'm telling you, like once I grabbed it in hand and I realized that it was real, like it wasn't like made in some like basement. I knew that I had something good. I like kind of like reached out to a couple of people and it justified like my what's the word, like just what I felt when I saw it. It was like, I want that. Like I've never seen it before. I need that. It's him in a PSG, and it ended up being, honestly, Matt, one of my top 5 buys of all time.
Absolutely.
To this day, it's still it's up there for me. If I was to go with 5 cards, this is one of the 5. Honestly,
I completely agree with you. I also feel like, I mean, it's fantastic. I feel like some people might think like, oh, you bought something that you weren't sure what it was. But I think there's an element of like listening to your gut. Like every time my gut has said, I've never seen that before,
right?
But it looks like something interesting.
Yes.
I would like say like pull the trigger if you can, because honestly, like you usually won't regret it. Even if you miss, like, I don't know. I think that was a great choice by you.
I'm glad. I'm telling you, and like like I've showed that to a lot of people, and honestly, almost everyone that I've shown it to has told me like, "Where the hell did you get that?" Like, because they've never seen it, and actually had like one dude that was telling me that it was a fake, and I'm like, I don't know. I have it in hand, man. It looks pretty real to me. It doesn't look like no bootleg copy, man. I actually had bought some packs of that set just to confirm that it was real. So I like opened up some packs, had like some scrubs in it, but I remember I wanted to make sure that it was real. Like I was so kind of, because it meant so much to me. And the moment I knew it, like once I opened up that pack, I felt it. I was like, whoa, I got lucky. I honestly feel like that was one of those just lucky buys. You know what I mean? I'm blessed to have it, man.
Dude, good for you. Good for you to pull
right? I got lucky, man, because I could have been bad.
I love it. I love it. I know you have 2 of these bad boys, but I'll share it from his Barca days. God, I hate that glare. So this is 2003. This is the Liga Megafiches. It's a patch card. One thing I want to say about this, and I don't know if you feel the same way, I was kind of like a purist when I first got into pre-modern, especially like, and I was like, I don't care about patches. I don't really care about autos. There aren't really many numbered cards. I kind of don't care about that. Right. And then I started to discover some of like the early numbered cards where it's almost like numbered in pre-modern. And I became obsessed with early examples of that. And that's one of those sets. And now I'm like honed in on that type of stuff, which is, it's funny how you kind of like evolve your thinking, you know?
Right. Yeah. No, with those, when I first knew about those, I was like, Dino patch? Like, are you serious? Like, is this for real? Like, and I was crazy with it, man. Those to me, that entire set is one of my, if not my favorite set of pre-modern.
It's cool.
That set right there, if you look at just how they made the cards, like they're, man, so many great shots. The what's called like parallels, right? Those patches, and then those even have, those are out of 400, right? Out of
That one's out of
390.
400, and I think there's like better patches, foil versions out of 50, and then I think there's autos out of 25. Right? Yeah,
those are, man, those to me are, we won't see those. Those I think are tucked away, man.
Somebody honestly had, you know, James Cards FC. He has a Xavi out of 25 auto, which is just like that's the only one I've ever seen.
Right. Yeah, that's a beauty. That's a beauty. That to me is Grail right there for like Xavi. That's Grail by a lot, right?
Yep.
No, that's a dope set, man.
It is.
Ooh, let me show this right here. Going back to PSG, one last second.
Oh, the foil.
The foil, man. Is this one? I just love it, man. Panini in the background.
I love that
whole grill, his whole teeth, like you see, like all them crooked teeth looking so beautiful. His hair is like what's called like Jerry Curl, like freaking like Coming to America. It's so cool, man.
That's a beautiful one.
And
plus it's foot.
You said it. Best stickers, man, by far.
Ridiculous.
This next one, man. So speaking of rare, I think this next one is I actually have like a little like story. I first kind of like heard about it from the Candyman, which is a guy named Paul, who's considered like one of the top like hunters, right? And he first showed this on the what's called like Discord, and I remember seeing it. And then once he put as to why it was so rare, it had to do with a what's called like licensing thing, and they had to get pulled off of like the shelves. So a lot of them didn't make it out to like swim. And honestly, Matt, I was looking for this for about almost the 4 years that I've been in this, and up until recently. Shout out to my plug Leo. Many know he is like the like pre-modern like Indiana Jones. He knew like I basically like will send him like a list of stuff that I'm like always trying to find. And I got that DM from him one day, like, yo, I got it. And it was like I knew what it was when he said I got it, because it's the one that I've been asking him for forever. And he came through, he was able to find a couple of them for me. To have this one, we just spoke about his hair, how he was starting to gain his powers, and this is a beautiful one, man. I'm so in love with this one. This is up there for me. Just everything about this one, man. It's just gorgeous, man.
I like that he's in the Brazil kit too. So I didn't know this existed until you posted it on the Discord.
Right, man. I had a lot of people write me about it, like, where the hell did you
I mean, I'm obsessed with this for 4 years, and there's a Ronaldinho card that I don't know exists in 2003. Like that's why soccer is so fun. Like you're uncovering stuff. So
dude, that one that you have, I didn't see it until maybe around when you like posted it. I had only seen maybe one other one right before that.
Right.
So I knew, I was like, wait, what? Because the image is beautiful. Like
that image is amazing.
The gray kit, and like you said, every time that you think you've seen it all, somebody unearths something else, or someone knows about one release that came out only in this, region and whatnot.
Right.
And that's what makes it fun. Like, because I'm hunting that one now. I'm hunting the one you got. I'm hunting
the 2003 that you just showed. Right? Yeah.
We're trying, man. We're trying to just accumulate. Man, this other one is like a fun one too. I'm gonna show it this way right here.
Oh, I love that.
This is just beauty to me. Just Este is probably my second favorite sticker set behind the foot.
The Este stuff around that time is so
right. Just the always half action, half like, you know what I'm saying, headshot. I'm a sucker for Panini headshots too, man. Just like you. Like, that's what makes Foot, I think, so classic. It's such a like, it just feels old school. It feels pre-modern when you see those
It
headshots
does.
and the designs and even these. I mean, look how cool this looks. We're talking 20 years later.
I mean,
And look at his smile with the gold R. Oh, gorgeous, man.
it's
Freaking
awesome.
beautiful, man. And then this one. This is always a fun one, right?
Ooh, the shiny.
The shiny. The glare's off today because the other camera's acting weird.
People always like, if you say PNG, people like, want to strangle you. But like,
Yeah,
it's
right.
not like that. It's got that like vibe, that one has that
No,
vibe.
it's beautiful in hand.
It is.
And it's in Brazilian colors, the green and the yellow.
Yeah.
That's what makes that one so clean to me, man. And the image, it looks like he's just full fierce mode running. You see his face, his facial features, his freaking legs got veins going through them. Like the dude looks like he's about to kick the shit out of the ball, man. Or do some magic, right? It's fucking beautiful, man. It's so sweet. Beautiful, beautiful, man.
Yeah, I love that
Woo.
one.
Heat, man, heat.
And we're gonna be doing this once a month, and we're gonna be picking a player every month to kind of do a deep dive on. And Ronaldinho was our first one, but we got more on the hopper.
Yeah, right. No, we're always gonna come with heat. We both, like I said, we both love this. So every month the plan is to show y'all those players that we fell in love with and that we continue to hunt for to this day. Like we just showed like each cards that we both are still looking for. That's what makes it so cool. Like he has something I want, I have some. Now we got to hunt for it. Now we got to find it, but we're sharing knowledge too at the same time. Now I know more about that one. Now, like you know more about this release.
Yep.
I'm hoping that with this video, someone's going to show us something that we both haven't seen, that we're both going to have to add to our list. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's definitely going to be sweet, man. And just to give a sneak peek of what's coming, so we have a few, what's the word, like segments that we're planning on doing, and one of them is going to be called Consolidate. The champ loses weight. So I don't know how yet, but the plan is I'm going to consolidate my collection. I have, for those that don't know, I've never sold a card or a sticker in my 4 years. Last card that I actually physically sold was a Michael Jordan Scoring Kings back in like 93, 94. I don't even know the year it was, but I sold them. I actually pack pulled a Jordan Scoring Kings and it had a messed up corner. I tried to sell it to the owner of the shop. He told me he couldn't give me nothing for it because it was damaged. My Hispanic ass goes the next day. The man wasn't there. His worker was there, and his worker gave me like 700, 800 bucks for it. So I walked
my God.
I was like 12, 13 years old. I walked out the shop. I remember I blew that money on like WWF figures. I had the ring. I had Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior, Brutus the Barber, Cake, Jimmy Snuka. I went to Toys R Us, went crazy. And that was the last card I sold. Like I could literally put that on my children. So this is going to be real cool for me to kind of show this process to like people of we've both hoarded. I feel we both have hoarded a lot. And this is going to be a cool way to just show y'all how I'm going to go about this, how I'm planning on selling, what you know what I'm saying, like where I'm planning on selling what cards and stickers and what I'm trying to go for. I'm obviously not going to give y'all every little thing I want to go for, but y'all are going to know like, yo, I'm going to sell these and I'm going to see how it goes in this auction. And I just want to like show you all those processes. I think that's going to be a cool thing. Maybe I could integrate it with some type of weight loss, which would be cool. Like if I sell 4 cards this week, I got to lose 4 pounds this week or something. So I'm gonna find a way to make it cool. And but it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I've never sold on eBay. I've never sold on COMC. Never sold on any of the what's called like auction houses. So I'm excited about this. Like
it's going to be your evolution. We're going to watch your evolution because it's funny because I feel like there's like 2 types of collectors. There's like there's like hoarders that want like everything. Like you talk about like, I mean, I've heard Al say he's filling holes all the time, which is like he's always trying to find stuff that he doesn't have, and it's kind of like a broad. And then like I try to keep it like a little bit like tighter, where I want like 30 slabs that mean a lot to me. And if I bring like 5 new slabs in, I want to think about like what I have to kind of like
move and try
to balance things out. But I think like your process is going to be fascinating because like, well, wait, I'll ask you, why do you want to consolidate?
I don't want to leave so much destruction for my kids to have to go through. I mean, I got boxes, Matt. Like, I got boxes. I probably have like cards laying around that people would probably be like, you don't have that in the bank, or you don't have that in like a box, like, and it's literally like at my house, like I've seen my like kids play with cards that other people wouldn't even let their wife touch. Like, and so to me, it's like I feel like kind of like what you said is actually a great way to do it. Have like a set amount and try to keep it at that amount and move everything and just keep bettering that 30 or that 50 or that 100, right? My issue with that would be, and this is where I see a big issue, is the Colombian and R9 stuff. Like, those are two things that I don't know if I could necessarily consolidate.
You might have to put that to the side.
Right? That's like, put that in the coffin type stuff, right? Like, or you know what I mean? Like, so the other stuff though, I have like, I mean, I have a ton of just Xavi, Iniesta, just pre-modern in general. Like, I have a ton of it. I have multiple copies of rare stuff. So that's the type of stuff that I want to slowly move and just be able to go into some of the pieces that me and you spoke about, pieces that like that R9 cut auto, man, that's a grail. That I've actually said this. It's my R9 grail, unless I could find a spoon he used during the 1996 like games when they came to like Atlanta. Unless I could find a used spoon that he ate at a restaurant from, to me, the one you have, that's top of the top, brother. Like, if I could trade 30, 40 cards for that, I'd do it any day of the week.
It's so
like,
funny you say that, because like that's how I think about it. Sometimes when I'm like, okay, I want to make a play for a big card like that. If someone came in with that card, would I trade him these 6 for it? And if I would, start thinking about putting a plan in place to like liquidate those 6 and maybe find the larger card. So but it's tough too, because sometimes you get into those, like the Colombian stuff, like you want to have a complete collection, so maybe that's a separate thing, but you consolidate some other stuff.
That's like a weird addiction. Like that would have to be a late night kind of like podcast with no like edits, no, because that's creepy to me right now. I have this obsession with this Colombian gold, and it's been going on since Copa America, brother. Like I'm telling you, I don't know if just feeling that and seeing it made me just, and then of course it's like a James prism, like gold prism, or a Luis Diaz prism, like, because we know how important those sets are. Like, I wish I had every like Pibe prism ever, right? Like, so it's like, just to be able to hunt those, that's like to me, it's honestly, it's like a whole nother world.
Yeah, it is. It's separate,
right? It's its own world. And R9 is just, that's my favorite player of all time.
Yeah.
So it's like, and Pibe is my favorite player to like collect of all time, but R9 is like, that's my Jordan. That's my like Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? Like that's the guy that to me I go crazy for. So, but everything else I understand now. Like, yo, you got to move. Just keep like, of every player, maybe 8 pieces, 10 pieces, and move the rest. And I think it's gonna be cool because like I said, I'm gonna be getting advice. I'm gonna be talking to Al. I'm gonna reach out. Al hasn't responded to my DMs in like over a year. He's just, I write him, I just get read. I don't even get a DM back, man. All these dudes, man, they just like turn their backs on the champ, man. It hurts. But man, I think that folks that watch this are going to appreciate it and love it, because I want to be real with it. Like, if like I'm talking about live streaming during auctions, like I want to make it to where people see what I'm dealing with and how I'm going through it. And I think it's going to be fun, man. Obviously, this is going to be,
and I think a lot of people are probably in your situation,
yeah,
where they might want to consolidate and kind of make a play for something bigger based on their current collection. We can all learn together.
yeah, exactly, man. Man, we both wanted to shout out a couple of fellow Jedis that we both like. We actually kind of like spoke about this. There's people that we love to follow, man. People that they give so much knowledge. They have spectacular collections. People that give off great vibes that we both. And it's funny because we were both saying names, and it's like people that we both were like, dude, that dude's cool. Oh, his collection is like, and I love that. So and we're like gonna start off with the fellow. He's from down under, right? His knowledge, like, I mean, you said it best. He with his page, I almost feel like he's doing like, I don't want to like just free what's called like lessons, like he's teaching, right? And can't do it without bringing it up. Damien at Retro Soccer Cards on IG. If you haven't followed him, please do. He's a good guy, really cool dude. Has a lot of knowledge. That dude knows his stuff. So we definitely wanted to give him props. Someone that we both follow and we both hold in high regard, right?
We really do. And he knows, like, I would say he knows a lot about a lot of things, but like he's like a Premier League guru.
Yeah.
Like 2000s Premier League, like he knows the ins and outs of every set.
Like he was watching those seasons. Like
Totally.
he had some VHS tape somewhere.
And like that was how I got into soccer. Like I was like watching like early Premier League was like the first soccer I watched before like the 94 World Cup. So like I've got so much nostalgia for that stuff. And he is just like a wealth of information. So everybody follow him. Great dude. He makes really awesome content on YouTube as well. So what an awesome collector to have in the space.
Man. Shout out to Damien, man.
That's right.
Man. And the next up, we both called him Vito Corleone. He is Optimus Prime. He is Michael Knight in Knight Rider. Obviously, man, I'm just I'm inspired by this man. He's definitely one of my what's called like muses, man. Just to put it in simple terms, my kids know who he is. Like that ought to tell you something where they'll ask me about him, how he's doing, if I've spoken to him. He's someone that in our thing is rare. He's just that guy on his horse that we know that he's been through it. He's been through the ins and outs of this hobby. His knowledge is just so vast on so many topics when it comes to football, when it comes his baseball collection, man. He's got stuff that people have never even heard of or seen. And I mean, he's just a remarkable person, someone that really helps this whole hobby, I feel. And I'm like I don't know how to explain it. Okay, so you know how Messi has that dude that runs on the pitch like every time someone tries. If I'm at a card show and someone tries to approach Al, I'm running like that dude. I'm gonna protect Al at all costs. Like
your security,
right? He's very someone that I said I hold in high regard. And I'm still waiting for that, a selfie with him. I hope that he responds to my like DMs. I think he thinks I'm a stalker now, but. Shout out to Al, man. Seriously, man, you really helped a lot of people like us learn, and he doesn't ask for nothing in return, and that to me is amazing. Like, he's constantly hunting. Whenever he gets something big, it's like the entire like our world knows about it. Like, and the stuff that he gets now, he always has dry powder for the big dog stuff. Like, he gets what he wants. And that's the point that's how I want to be going forward. Where like, if we both see something, I want to be on that level where I'm ready to go. Like I have it. I'm ready to go. I don't got to sell nothing. I don't got to rush to, it's like, oh, I've been waiting for this one. Boom, it's mine. And man, he's always going to be my favorite, man. Al. So shout out to Al. If you don't know who that is, turn off this podcast and delete us from your algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously need to know him if you want to know us, right? The Godfather, like Paulie and Goodfellas. Shout out to Al, man. Man,
Nope.
we're finally about to like wind it down.
Yeah,
Don't know how long we've gone. Probably terrified to even
about
look
an
at that.
hour.
About an hour. Okay?
Yeah.
That's the longest I've gone in a long time, Matt. So we're gonna finish off with the money shot. Final thoughts, man. Man, Matt, thank you. I know that I was called like wrote you, and I knew that I wanted to talk cards, man. I'm tired of talking cards, and then my kids just kind of like look at me like I'm crazy. So I wanted to be able to share this space. I have my like crew of people that I always talk to, but I felt like you were perfect for this, man, because we have the same type of style, the same flow, and that's what makes this cool, man. Like we both are hunters, man. We really do this. Like a lot of people came in and left, and me and you have been on it. We've been like I feel like we've both grown. Like in the last 4 years, our knowledge, our stash has just reached such like a dope. You know what I'm saying? Like that we're just gonna keep going with it, and it's really cool that we could combine do this. I think we're both going to learn so much. I think people are going to learn more about how we collect. People probably think that we're weird or something, but now they're going to be like, oh, yeah, they're definitely weird. But it's all for the love, right? It's all for like the passion. And that's what this is about. This is like I don't want to say it like this, but it's like a passion project, right? Like that we both get to share our knowledge and our experiences and hope that other people out there are going through it like we are. Like we need this.
Yeah, like my family won't talk to me about this, and I need to talk to somebody about it. And you're the perfect person to do that. So we're going to keep it going.
Yeah.
We're going to give pre-modern a platform. I can't say this enough, though. We're not experts. We don't know everything. We want to make this like we want to learn from folks that watch this. We want to learn from each other, but we just love this part of the market so much, and we want to talk about it on a regular basis. So we're excited.
So yeah, nah, man. So everyone that tuned in, we highly appreciate it. We hope that y'all enjoy this as much as we do. I've been like looking forward to this all week, so I'm really glad that it was done finally, and it's time to keep swinging for the fences, man. This is where it's at now, man. Primo podcast, man. Episode 1. Glad that y'all are with us, and any comments, all of that fancy stuff, y'all probably know what to do. I wouldn't even know where to guide y'all for that. I've seen this done a lot. Click subscribe and follow and like and comment and share and do all that good stuff. And the plan is to get better with every episode. I think we both kind of like spoke about that early on, that every episode we're just gonna learn and keep getting better and see where it goes, man. But this is all about collecting, man. It's all about passion for this, and just highly appreciate you, Matt. Seriously, man. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be a
Oh,
fun time, man.
when the champ asks you to do a podcast, you have to say yes. You can't refuse.
Finger has been pricked. We're now made guys. A friend of mine, a friend of ours. So yeah, man. See y'all soon. Let us know what y'all think. All right.
All right, thanks,
Everybody
guys.
bless, man, and keep hunting. Keep hunting, because we are. All right.
Bye.
Yeah.